The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barber's Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool. Double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack this like I'm Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at. So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition. I'm not going to hold you. It is Friday, April 18, 2025, man. As usual, I am your host, Scott. You know to follow me on all social media platforms. That is at Barber's Chair Scott. Follow the Barber's Chair at Barber's Chair Co. on all social media platforms. Follow the show. I'm not going to hold you at INGHY Show on Instagram. And of course, follow our partners at H&B Media at HB Media TV on Twitter and at HB Media on Instagram, man. And of course, you can subscribe to the Patreon, man. Patreon.com/Barber's Chat Network. If you are listening to this on the podcast feed, the link is right there in the description box. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can take your phone up to the screen and it will send you right to the QR code, man, and that will give you 25% off your first order on the Barber's Chat Network merchandise shop, bcnetshop.com. We got our first original shirt dropping on Thursday for the NFL draft. And of course, tune in to the I'm Not Gonna Hold You annual NFL draft reaction special, where we react to everything going on in the first couple picks. We usually do first 10, 12 picks of the night. I was not on this program last year because I spent the NFL draft in the hospital. So hopefully this year, God willing, I won't be there in the hospital, and I'll be here on the show with y'all, man. But we got a packed show, a lot of NBA talk, man. We're going to break down and predict all of the series that are set so far and give our picks on that, man. We got Pavy joining us in hour 2. But for now, we bring in my co-host for the show, man. We've got the homie Dante. Of course, you know it's Friday, so that means Dante here, Dante Fridays. And we've got front of the program, Mr. Mariano here in the building with y'all, man. Mariano, how you feeling?
I'm good, man. Just got back in from the gym and all that. You know what I'm saying? Got the waves wrapped up right now. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram, man. I'm showing the waves off a couple times a week. You feel me? At Mariano Bibbins on Instagram. Yeah, we out here, man. I'm chilling. I feel marvelous, man. You know what I'm saying?
I feel marvelous. We got the two Atlanta niggas out here right now.
It's 80 degrees in the air today, dog.
Detroit nigga living in Atlanta. Let's
living in Atlanta. Chicago nigga living in Atlanta.
Yo, it's so hot. Yo, Dante can attest to this. Down here in Atlanta, right? It's the only place I've been where it's like, all right, you leave out in the morning, you need a hoodie and sweats, and then by like 12, you need shorts, and then maybe by 2, you probably need a hoodie again, but then like by 4, you probably need. So it's weird, man. It's weird, but it's hot today. So
yeah, bro. Like and it's like like I said, I was out at the stadium for a second, and these are the worst days because it'll be 80 degrees and it's not a cloud in the sky. It's just sun,
right?
And this bitch baking, and the humidity add to it. So it's one of them planes. You feel like the old fat nigga. You gotta have a towel on you because you gonna need to patch the stuff at some point because it really get hot like that. But
we about to have to do the Jadakiss paper towel headband out here, like, and keep that shit for multiple uses, man. That's what time it is right now. But yeah, man, we here.
Definitely, man. I see in the chat. Orlando said this fucking Cubs game. Yeah, the Cubs.
Orlando, what up, my boy?
And the D-backs.
Bro, I just made. I'm gonna say Orlando. I just told him, hey, bro, turn your TV on. I don't know if you're watching this shit.
Yeah, as soon as I turned it on, it was another home run. Home run. It's 13-11 Cubs in the bottom of the 8th, and the Cubs have bases loaded with 1 out. So the Cubs can score runs. They can't stop nobody from scoring runs, man. But we got a big show for y'all today, man. A lot of things to talk about. So we got to start off the local hour, man. Bang is not here, so I will sing it for him. It is the local hour. I can't hit the notes like Bang, but there we go.
That's how you know that. That's how you know that nigga went to church. He had a little harmony in there. That's how you know that nigga was raised in the church.
Shout out to Bang, man. Listen, dog. When I tell y'all that Aaron Rodgers story had me literally crying tears, laughing, bro. I promise you, man. Like that, I wasn't prepared for where the story was going to go, man. Bang. Shout out to Bang, man. Shout out to my dog, man.
Story time with Bang is a traditional summer sessions, and that was brought on in. And also shout out to Bang because Bang isn't here today because he is renewing his vows. Him and his wife. So big shout out to Bang, Black Love, and Bang was like, man, Dante get off all the time. I need to get my day off. So
he's not wrong.
All right, Dante is here on Fridays. Courtney be back next Thursday. Because so yeah, let me say this. Next week's schedule, Monday per usual, no show on Friday. There will be a show on Thursday for our annual NFL draft specials. Look out for that. But let's get into it in the local hour, man. We got to talk about, unfortunately, the Chicago Bulls, man. The Chicago Bulls are three of us our favorite basketball team. Now, no matter how much we hate them niggas, they were in their 3rd playing game in a row against their now playing rival. By the way, having a playing rival is nasty work. Nasty work. They lost 109-90 at the United Center, sold out United Center, packed United Center. And it really wasn't even that close. They would lose about like 30 at one point in this game. I was watching the game. They went up 10. I fell asleep, and when I woke up, they were down 30. Now the only highlight from this game is our franchise quarterback, Mr. Caleb Williams, throwing a football from courtside all the way to the 300.
Went crazy. He went crazy.
went crazy with that. That was the best part of the entire game. So, and the final score was 109-90, and we saw Mr. Giddey, who everybody been gassing. He got pretty locked up, man. He only had let's see what we got right here. ESPN got their stats. So he had 25, but it was on 9 of 21 shooting. He was at the free throw line for like 7 of them. It was not a good game. He had 4 turnovers. He was getting locked down, man. And first, before we even get to this actual game, I think we gotta talk about, if we look at all the sports, man, Jerry Reinsdorf, in my opinion, is the worst owner in sports. If you look at what he's got, this mess with the Bulls and the White Sox. Let's not forget the White Sox. Combine them niggas together. The White Sox might be worse than the team last year. I don't know. I haven't even watched them niggas, but every time the ESPN alert come to my phone, it's lost. I ain't seeing any wins. It looks like it's worse than last year. When you have such an iconic franchise in the Chicago Bulls that, shout out to the homie Cal. I was talking to Cal on Twitter about this, and he's like, fuck AK, but he's literally right. Fans to be patient. I'm like, nigga, we ain't won a playoff series in 10 years. We've only made one conference final since Jordan left the building and got smacked in that conference final because John Paxson refused to get Derrick Rose an actual shooting guard. He had Keith Bogans. They ran Keith Bogans in the starting lineup for a series that'll get you to the NBA Finals, by the way. Since Arturas Karnisovas has taken over. I remember the show. Me and Maury were doing our Bulls pod at the time. We were hyped. These niggas have made the playoffs one time since that nigga's been president. Only 2 times in the history of the franchise since Derrick Rose was out the building. Remember they made 2017 with the 3 alphas thing. Mm-hmm. It's a disgrace. And I remember Kyle saying, "Oh, we're not the Lakers or the Celtics." Yeah, we're not, but that's the problem. We should be. You come off a run that is still that thing's been over almost 30 years. It's still talked about. The Last Dance. It's a 5-year-old documentary. Still talked about. We should be putting that same bracket as the Lakers and the Celtics if we had the right infrastructure, what they don't. I don't even know what they're trying to do. I'm a patient fan when I know ownership's doing something. I can do rebuilds if I see there's something there. And I know a lot of people out here, oh, look how the young players are playing. They finished the season 15-5. If you think this core of young players got maybe Matas will be. I don't know. He's the one who, to me, the sky's the limit. Kobe White and Josh Giddey are who they are. You're not winning the NBA championship like that. And Jerry Reinsdorf, I know there's some people who, I know me and Dante, somebody just in soccer, Manchester United has terrible owners. You know what I'm saying? Since I've been getting in my soccer bag. Shout out to all y'all who watch Soccer for Dummies on Monday. Had a lot of views. So I appreciate y'all. But they're a bad run organization too. But I think the reason it takes it over the top for Jerry Reinsdorf is he's got 2 shitty franchises. That both of them, if you look at the history of the White Sox, bro, and like I want to see everybody face this. Look at the 100+ history of the White Sox. Since black people were able to vote in actual playoff series, I think they've only been to the playoffs like 6 or 7 times, which is egregious. I'll be 37 this year. They have won. They won 1 playoff series in my lifetime. 1, and that won't. Well, they won multiple playoff series, 1 playoffs in my lifetime. That was the year they won the World Series. Now 2005, where they won 3 series. Have been nothing like that. And it's like there's no future. What's the White Sox plan? Like the plan you had to rebuild, what was it, 9 years ago at this point, almost 10 years ago when they traded Chris Sale. The best you got out of it is a wild card game and being beaten 5 games by the Houston Astros. Like that's what you got from this. And now look at everybody else from that core. Where they at right now? Tim Anderson let holes ruin them. Like that nigga don't even look the same. Yohan Moncada, boom. Eloy Jimenez, boom. I don't even know what Eloy playing at. Dylan Cease is the only good one still. And even he still look like Dylan Cease every now and then. Lucas Giolito, I forgot he's in the lead. So I saw that Red Sox documentary series on Netflix. Ronaldo Lopez, he's paid decent. You know what I'm saying? But all your core, he's injured. Yeah, per usual. Luis Robert is the most overrated nigga, maybe in baseball. If I keep hearing about his potential, it's been 5 years. We're on our 3rd president since we've been hearing about Luis Robert's potential. And now if you go to the Bulls, we can sit up here and blame the fans, stop going to the games. Yeah, you can say that. But the Bulls are an iconic brand. They are basketball. As much as, basketball is a big part of Chicago. People are going to go to them games. My only request is that you got to do something, man. Like, this can't keep being a thing. And so I think Jerry Reinsdorf, unfortunately, until redacted happens, and even then, with the White Sox, there's a little hope with that because we all know the Ishiba's will take control once Jerry Reinsdorf is gone. But even then, I'm still 50-50 on that. You see how the Ishibas are running the Phoenix Suns. Now, granted, I know both of them don't run the Suns, but that's not really a good example to look at. And with the Bulls, is Michael Reinsdorf going to sell the team? I don't know anything Michael Reinsdorf does but report to his daddy. And I just think that's the overall problem with them, man. So I'm going to go to Maury first, man. Let's talk about the Reinsdorf factor. There's so many different layers to this shit show we have here. Do you think he's the worst owner in sports?
I think that he has to be. I would say he has to be, bro, because like as soon as Stephen A. said what he said about Matt Ishbia, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's the worst. He's trying, and you can see that he's trying. It just didn't work. I'm not mad at somebody trying and failing. This shit right here is just like, let's just run this out there every single year. We know we're gonna sell the tickets. Like you just said, the playing game was, packed house, just sold out, right? For a perennial play-in team that, like you said, has a play-in rival. That's not even mid. That's trash. Mid is like that's trash. That's basement level garbage, right?
Right.
Now you're in the position, the Bulls are in the position now where it's like, okay, you got Josh Giddey's putting up all these numbers. You see him on triple double watch all the time. You know what I'm saying? In these games that don't really mean much, you're at a point where like you damn near have to pay him because like you're not getting any free agents signing here. Like nobody cares about the Bulls. Like nobody cares. Not anybody. Even the fans don't care. I don't care. I haven't watched a full Bulls game in I don't know how long. So when you look around the league, like nobody cares, and that's the worst place to be. Whether if they love you, if they hate you, that means like you at least matter. Nobody cares about the Bulls, bro, at all. So you damn near gotta pay him. Patrick Williams, I'm not sure what people still like waiting on him to turn this corner. Like I don't really know. I've been off of that for like a minute now.
You was off of it on draft night, low-key.
I was off of it, yeah, because for me it was just like fourth pick. It shouldn't be like we gotta see. We gonna see. Like, come on, dog. Like, no, man. And then he's had flashes here and there, but when's the last time he had a 20-point game? Like, or he had a 20-point game, I think this season for the first time in like years. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm off of that. I'm way good on that. I love Kobe White. I fuck with him heavy. Matas is the only thing that got me back even caring a little bit about Chicago Bulls basketball. So moving forward, I mean, it's just going to be more of the same. They're going to win some meaningless games. They're not going to make any splash big enough to change like the trajectory of the franchise or something like that. So they're just going to be a perennial, they got some flashes and they had a couple of exciting games. I think the only good thing they did was they finally got rid of Zach and DeMar. But I mean, shit, we in the same boat. We got bounced that night. They got bounced the next night? Like, so I mean, who? It is what it is. You waited too late on that.
Same night.
Yeah, the same night. Yeah, the same night. So it's like you even waited too late on that. So like, as much as I want to commend you for doing that, you did that shit a couple years too late. So yes, to answer the question, yes, I would say yes, he is, because this shit is going nowhere. And Chicago Bulls should not be a team that went from being like the iconic franchise that you literally have the GOAT. You have that. Like, you got 2-3 peats and people still talk about it. You still going to buy the merch and you still going, and nobody cares about it. That's unacceptable, bro. Like, look at the Cowboys. Cowboys haven't won anything since Big and Pac was paying for studio time, and people still care about them. They still care. Every single year they care. So they over there doing something at least right. The Bulls ain't doing shit, and they're not going to do shit. So newsflash for the fans, if you're waiting on this shit to get right and all that, don't hold your breath, dog. I'm not.
Yeah. And I think too, the worst part about it is like even with the Cowboys, like they might win a division here too. They usually flare out in the playoffs. We don't even make the playoffs, and that's the irritating part. Dante, what's the hope of any for Bulls and White Sox? Like, two very passionate fan bases who all root for the same teams.
That's sad. Like you said, I was arguing with Kyle as well. There really is no hope. It's just being honest about it. You're talking about a team where even when if he passes away, which we're not wishing death on nobody, but his family still owns and operates these teams. So if the mentality doesn't change there, you're not going to get anything different. And so the only hope is that really, that's why me and Mikey keep sending these clips about the Ishbia brothers and their attempt to try to take over the White Sox. Because I mean, like Mari said, bro, I'm not going to knock you for trying. They swung for the fences. It didn't work. And now they're trying to tear it down and rebuild it. Unfortunately, they can't do like Steve Cohen and the Mets and where I'm going to just throw some more money at the problem. Like their CBA don't allow that. But at the same time, he's like, when I hear an owner say, it's not about profitability for me, I like that. Because he's like, yo, I'm not sitting here pinching pennies. I'm trying to win. I don't give a fuck about that. So with Reinsdorf, it's the exact opposite. He's trying to collect the check and do the least amount of work possible. At least that's what we've seen. The Bulls, when you talk about, they sat on their hands for 3 years and didn't make a trade at the trade deadline. And then this year, instead of tearing it down, which was your moment because you have a lot of young talent in this draft, you push for the play-in and make the play-in. So, I mean, the only hope is to get lucky. I mean, Jerry Reinsdorf wins when he catches lightning in a bottle. You know, I've been watching that Celtics doc. You know, they were talking about Rick Pitino, but like, you know, Jerry Krause ain't walking through that door. As much as we hated Jerry Krause, he built that fucking team. Like say what you want about Jerry Krause, that man knew basketball. He was trying to trade Scotty for T-Mac to keep this shit rolling. Like,
best general manager maybe in Chicago sports system.
Ain't no maybe. He is. And now you got these idiots that are he's just surrounded himself with yes men who are like, all right, Jerry, you don't want to do no moves. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna just like everybody keeps shitting on Billy Donovan. His hands are tied because the roster's been trash. You know, when you like you said, you move Zach and DeMar and they get the same results somewhere else. So it shows you, okay, that wasn't gonna be shit. The one spark they had was with Zoe. So he got hurt, and you know, as usual, when people get hurt, Jerry just leans on that. Well, oh man, we tried, but so and so got hurt. And so, just like with the White Sox when they won, just like the Bulls when the Blazers passed on Mike and we had the 1.7% and got D Rose, they got to get lucky. If they don't get lucky, I don't expect shit from either one of these franchises because that's just not how they operate. They're not well-run organizations. It's a guy who's collecting his check, and he's gonna go home. He's gonna sit up there, smoke his cigars in his press box, and laugh at y'all as we sit there and still spend money with them. Like they got the city by the balls, and there's nothing we can do about it.
And I think the annoying part, not even with just Jerry, but I think with sports owners in general. Granted, I'm not a billionaire. I don't know. I don't understand the point of buying a sports team and not trying to win. Like I get it. For some people, it's a legacy piece or just something to own. But if I'm gonna spend money on something, don't I want to be successful? Like, yes, I understand the Bulls will always make money. They're going to always be a very popular franchise. But if you win, they're going to be more popular. Like, can you imagine if the Bulls had like a Cade Cunningham or a Nikola Jokic or Giannis? Like, it would be insane. Like, this is a basketball-starved city. To the point where even me, a lot of people don't know. Y'all know I love the Bears. The Bears are my life. If I ever see the Bears win a Super Bowl, I ain't had children, but I know the day I do, that day is gonna probably be number 2 to what I feel when I see whoever our quarterback is, hopefully Caleb, hoist the Lombardi Trophy. But I am just as big of a Bulls fan. But they have given me nothing to be happy about. Like you said, Mark, I ain't watched a Bulls game front to back in a smooth 3 years. Smooth 3 years. I just can't personally do it. And so that's where the frustrating part comes, man. And let's get to AK's press conference he had the other day. Now, say what you want about Joe Cowley for sometimes, you know, a lot of fans don't like him. Some media don't like him, but he kept AK's feet to the fire. He's like, you're doing the same thing over and over again, setting the same mediocre results. You done made the play-in 3 years in a row and then lost all 3 years in a row. Ain't like you using the play-in to get into the playoffs. You have not made the playoffs. What's the plan here? And AK kept using the word, we hope, hopefully this, hopefully that. I don't want to hear the general manager say hopefully. Like, what are you talking about? You have the power in your hand to make this right. And then to have the unmitigated gall, yes, I'm getting in my Stephen A bag, to tell the fan base, be patient. Nigga, I've been patient since Clinton was in office. Like, we talking about be patient. We've been patient. If there's anything this fan base shows, it's patience. They go to the games. They buy the merchandise. They go on a roll. Whenever I go to Staples Center and the Lakers are playing the Bulls, it's half Bulls fans in there. If you go overseas, you go to London. Dante, I know you know this. There's a lot of Bulls fans in London. When I went to the Bears, when I covered the Bears game, he said, no, Michael Jordan is the worst owner. No, he's not. Jerry Reinsdorf is the worst owner. But when I went to the Bull, when I did the Bears, who them niggas play? Jacksonville game in London, of course, we saw all of the Bears stuff. There was some Bulls jerseys on in that stadium as well. Like, it's a massive franchise that they're not doing anything with. And that's the thing that we can sit up here and move behind for years. I can't even count how many times me and Maury came on a podcast, or I was on their podcast. We talking about John Paxson this, John Paxson that. At least them niggas knew how to draft. Like, that's anything you want to give John Paxson and Gar Forman, at least they hit on their draft picks. Their biggest issue was not being able to land the big fish in free agency because they didn't want to go the extra mile like other franchises would. And the more that we hear about the LeBron James summer, it was more or less they weren't able to offload Luol Deng more than anything. And if D-Wade tell that story one more time, I'm going to throw up. Luol Deng has been the nigga who has stopped me from getting Kobe Bryant and LeBron James on my team. It's a problem. But at least they draft. Even Kobe White. I can't claim Kobe. That was Pax's last pick. And Paxton, and here's the worst part about it. We can sit up here and complain about AK, fire AK, and we don't know where Mark Eversley is at. I ain't seen that nigga since the opening press conference.
Facts.
Like nobody, or some caller said on 670 Score yesterday, nobody sees Mark Eversley but his family. We have not seen this nigga. And John Paxson had to fire himself. They didn't fire John Paxson. Like, I think that's the thing that goes under the radar here. John Paxson quit. And you still see this nigga at the stadium every other game. He's there. He's still part of the family. So AK is going to be here for a while. Why would he not? Why would he step down? He's getting paid millions of dollars to not do anything and live in one of the greatest cities in America. I wouldn't quit either, nigga. So, like, that's the worst part for the fan base is that you hear AK, nothing's going to change. Now they're going to go up there. They're going to give Josh Giddey maybe $200 million.
Oh man,
which is insanity. And like either way you're screwed because you can't let him walk, but then you're gonna overpay him at the same time. It's just
you're gonna have to, bro. That's the thing. Like I was having this conversation. Shout out to my brother Kev, man, another Bulls fan.
Big shout out to Kev.
And so we had this conversation, and he was saying like, "Yo, Maury, do we pay Josh Giddey?" And I'm like, "Dog, look, it's gonna be tough for you to hear this, dog, but I promise you, we're going to have to pay him because nobody comes here." So, like I said, he was on Triple Double Watch all the time, and you know everybody's like, "Oh shit, he found the spark," and you know he got some good chemistry out there with it. Who else you gonna get other than him? You're not gonna go out there and sign anybody. Like you're not. Nobody's coming here. It's just like I said, nobody cares about the Chicago Bulls, bro. Like these players talk. We had this conversation all the time. They talk. They know where they want to go, and they know where they don't. Unless you offer somebody just a monster contract, like they're not just going to come here because they want to. They want to preserve like the legacy and all this kind of shit. Like that's just not going to happen. And I think for me, if I'm Paxson, I'm hanging out too. I'm hanging out more because I'm showing y'all like, you see, now you see, right? You see, you thought it was me. Now look what's going on here. So it's just this. Man, I don't even know, dog. Like for him, I'm gonna tell you, this is the point where I damn near dropped my flag because y'all know last season I was almost in free agency with my fandom. I was almost about to take it somewhere else, and I still might because he said be patient shit. Telling somebody to be patient that's already been patient for all this time is insanity, bro. Like it's absolutely insanity, bro. Like if you got a fan base that's not only been patient, but they've been supportive through their patience. They're still buying the jerseys. They're still coming to the game. They still making content about it. They still getting on shows talking about this team. This team deserves absolutely no attention, no press, no nothing, but they get it anyway. Why? Because like this is a iconic franchise. It's just not being ran that way, bro. Like this shit is insane. I can't understand it. I really can't understand it. But it's I don't know. There's nothing to even be like hopeful for, to be honest. Like it's not the free agents don't want to live in the cold. I mean, that's fine and all that, but I guarantee you'll find somebody that want to go up there and play with Josh Allen right now. I promise you will.
Living in the cold in Chicago, living in the cold in Chicago is different than living in the cold in fucking Cleveland or some shit, bro. Like
it's I understand that shit, bro, and all that, but it's like somebody's gonna want to go play with Anthony Edwards. Like I don't that I'm not buying. Like I'm not buying.
Minnesota's a small city. Like Chicago is a big city. You know what I'm saying? Like
the Bulls are trash, bro. It's simple.
Let me just throw something out there. Let's just say Giannis was here. Let's just play devil's advocate. Niggas would want to play with Giannis. Niggas don't want to play with Giannis because he's in Milwaukee. Niggas will play with Giannis in Chicago.
Yeah, you know, if the Bulls were a better team, people would want to play there. It's just that simple. They're trash.
Yeah,
you think it ain't cold? It's cold in Detroit, bro. It's cold. It's cold in Detroit,
places, bro.
But if you got some shit going on, somebody gonna want to pull up. It's just the Bulls is trash, and they're gonna be trash for a very long time, unless, like Dante said, they get lucky. That's really it.
Miami has some of the best weather on planet Earth. They don't be getting free agents like that. Like that was the biggest thing doing the Jimmy thing. They can never get Jimmy help. Niggas didn't want to play with Pat Riley no more. Niggas didn't want to be part of Heat culture and things like that. So to me, that's just throwing Jerry Reinsdorf, or not even Jerry, Michael Reinsdorf, a life raft. And to go back to Billy Donovan, Hall of Famer Billy Donovan, by the way. What do you want to do with the niggas he got? Now, does he have job security? 100%. Is he blameless? No. You're not blameless when you're the head coach. A lot of things are your responsibility. So, yeah, he's part of his blame as well. But a coach only does as well as his talent. Steve Kerr does not have a good record without Steph Curry on the court. We have no idea what kind of coach Phil Jackson would be without a top 10 player in the starting lineup. I mean, he's coached Michael Jordan, he's coached Scottie Pippen, he's coached motherfucking Kobe and Shaq, Pau Gasol. Like, we have never seen him without a Hall of Famer. We don't know because they have great talent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Pop was good. Pop ain't won a championship. And by the way, I hope Pop rests up. You know what I'm saying? I know he just got yeah. So, yeah. I hope Pop. Yeah. I hope Pop gets better. Yeah. I said rest up. I didn't say but Pop didn't win the championship after Tim Duncan retired. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't see even in football, as great as Bill Belichick is, he ain't won nothing since Tom Brady left. He can't even get an NFL job right.
Nigga down in North Carolina now, man. P.D. Pablo and shit, man.
Yeah, Phil Jackson got ran out of New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different things that happens. You have to have talent on the court, on the field, no matter what sports you're playing. You have to have talent. And the problem with the Bulls is they don't have enough talent. If you're gonna be the franchise that doesn't bring in the big free agent, and honestly, in today's era of the second apron, you don't really even have to bring in the great free agent. Draft well, and trade. Yeah, that was where I was not. Look, hey man, that was not done on purpose. That was not done on purpose.
No, look, I'm gonna shoot Scott some bail. I think he realized when he was about to say rest up, he realized how it was gonna sound because he started laughing immediately. He was like, rest. He's like, wait, hold on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Nah. Scott, listen, Scott is a wild guy.
I
don't think he's that wild though. He's a very wild guy. Nobody in the chat that thinks he's a wild guy is wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm wild. I ain't that wild.
I don't think he's that wild though.
I said Pop rest up, and then as soon as I said rest,
I would say that's some shit. That's some shit I would say. That's not on Scott.
I said Pop rest up because it came to me in the middle. I was thinking about I was going to my Pop point, and then the TMZ article flashed in my head. As soon as I said that, but my point is, Billy Donovan needs talent. I don't think Billy Donovan is the greatest NBA coach, but he can be a lot better. He went to a Western Conference final when he had Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Give the man some time. I think the only lone bright spot as we go into our next topic of where do we actually go from here is Matas Buzelis. I think he had a pretty solid rookie campaign based on the minutes that he was actually given to him. And people forget, this is a guy who was projected to be a number 1 draft pick last year.
Yep.
This guy is delivered. I love his personality. And he has star quality about him. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of European players, sometimes people like, oh, well, do they have the star quality? You know, Jokic doesn't want to be in commercials. Even though I've seen like 5 Jokic commercials already. You know what I'm saying? You said I had a Booker T moment. I did have a Booker T moment. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. But he has personality, and that can be something you build upon. I like Kobe White. I don't think that Kobe is anything more than just a scorer, which is cool. I think Kobe would be a great addition to like a championship level team. Kobe on the Oklahoma City Thunder, buckets. You 100% need that. Yeah, look at him on another team. The Knicks would kill to have a Kobe White. And add him to the Celtics or the Cavaliers in a better situation when he's like the 3rd option or 4th. He's good for your team. Not a team where they want him to be the number one scorer. It's just not going to be. And I think Josh Giddey is decent. I think Josh Giddey had a much better year than I expected him to. I thought that trade was stupid. Considering our boy Alex Caruso ain't really played much this season, I think you could probably say right now maybe the Bulls got the best of that trade. Who knows? Maybe AC make a series-altering play in the playoffs. He's done that before. But the only thing that the Bulls can hope for right now that they're officially in the lottery, is that you get more lottery luck. And that you can get you a Cooper Flag and one of these other players who can really come in and step up right away. Maury, what's a realistic plan forget championship, but how they can get into the top 6 without worrying about being in a play-in anymore?
Man, the only path to that I see is if some players on the teams ahead of us just fall off a cliff, bro. Because like this, I just don't believe in the team. Like you said, Matas Buzelis, star, love him. If you really watch him play, the shit he got in his bag is crazy, bro. Like he hit Luka with some shit, man. Oh my God. Like, I'm not saying that like Luka's the best defender, none of that, but he embarrassed Luka. That shit mattered. Shit mattered to me. You know what I'm saying? He hit Austin Reeves with some shit, I think, in the same game. Like he's a dog. Him and Kobe, like I said, Josh Giddey, man, I like him. It's just the money you're gonna have to pay him is just like, God damn, man. Like I just don't like it, but I know it's gonna have to happen. But I feel like this whole conversation is gonna keep coming back to just getting lucky, honestly, because like there is no real. We sit up here every summer since we can go back 15 years. Every single summer, we look at the shooting guard market, the small forward market, or just whatever, and we like, yo, we should get that player, put them next to this player, and we'll be all right. And we never get anybody, not the players that we want anyway. So I really don't see a way for this team to get out of this, play-in hell. It's just going to be, I think it's just going to be the same shit moving forward. Next year, they might take a step back, to be honest. Like, I just don't see it for them, to be honest. Like, this is, you could call it, pessimism or whatever. I just call it being realistic because it's Chicago Bulls. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really honestly just don't see it unless this offseason, like I said, the teams ahead of us will just have to get worse. The players on the team will have to get worse. They will have to make a dumb trade and play themselves out of position for us to gain ground. But I still don't even got faith in that, though, because I think that we'll find a way to take even more steps back. Also give Buzelis more minutes. Let's see what he can do, like on a higher level. But and that's just for entertainment value. I'm not saying like for winning and shit. I just want to see Buzelis play more because I love his game. But I just don't see it for them, man. Honestly, I really don't.
Now here's an interesting little comment right now. Zaire puts trade Vu and Kobe for Zion. Now this is something that we talked about a couple weeks ago. I said, would you trade for Zion or a Jock? And I think both of those guys are going to be in the market. I really think Zion's going to be in the market now with getting rid of David Griffin and bringing in Joe Dumars. I just don't see any way that Zion is a member of the New Orleans Pelicans next year. I do it. Honestly, at this point, I do it. Like, yes, I understand. You might as well. Like, I understand Zion.
You're not going nowhere anyway. You might as well take a chance, like you said. Right. I mean, it's like Zion, he does this thing like the Joel Santana, I'm back 360 dunk. You know what I'm saying? Then he goes away for like a while after that. I like if this was a serious basketball team, I would say don't do it because he's not on the floor. But who cares at this point, bro? Trade it, try something. At least try something, because if you try it and it doesn't work, like we talked about to start the conversation, I can respect that. You traded for Zion. You put him in a new environment. You put him around some new energy. It just didn't work. Still cool. I'm not mad at that. But if you're not going to try shit, then I don't really want to hear it.
Yeah, to me, I know it sounds crazy to say it's lose. I mean, it's not lose, but at this point, man, like if he does play, let's just say he does play, he hoops, bro. When Zion does play, he plays to another level. Now, as Orlando put in the chat, he said he thinks he'll be 400 pounds. I'm not here to talk about anybody's weight, obviously. But there is a lot of food options in Chicago. That would worry me a little bit, especially I think he played the Bulls last year and he had like a full plate of Giordano's with him. That would concern me a little bit. But at this point, would you rather bank on Zion being healthy and staying fit, or what you got right now? You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, and that's just where I think, to me, that's a trade out, man. And I don't think he costs that much.
Yeah, but injured Zion is better than some healthy niggas we got on the team. So,
Dante, what you think?
You're gonna need a little bit of luck again. I would take Zion. I think that's a solid start. Zion, Matas, extend Giddey, but you still gonna need that luck of hitting on one of these picks in the draft. You're gonna need what happened to Atlanta last year. Last year, Atlanta made a play in and lost, and then they ended up with the number 1 pick. Man. I'm not saying we got to get the number 1 pick. That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful because if you get Cooper Flag, you don't have to pay Josh Giddey. We can sign and trade him, get somebody else in here, some different pieces for Giddey. I mean for Cooper, but you need luck, flat out, bro. I know they niggas talking about trade for Zion, trade for Ja, trade for Ja. You need luck. You need a whole lot of shit to happen right, bro. That one trade ain't gonna do nothing.
Let's trade for God.
For real. Like, unless Jesus running the 2, nigga, we ain't got no hope right now. Like, this is being real. So, no.
That's a fact.
I wouldn't mind it, but I also, Mari, and that's my point, and one of my issues with the team is, if we're going to be ass, bro, take chances. Take risks. Yeah. Go trade for Kevin Porter Jr. Go trade for these guys that are, maybe Amari Bailey, somebody who just needs more burn, like somebody like that. Don't sit here and just bullshit me. And then we literally playing for 6 through 10, G. Like that's crazy. But that's your goal to be mediocre as fucking humanly possible.
You know what's crazy about the Bulls playing history? Them niggas have never been in the 7-8 game. Like they've always been in the 9 and 10 game. Not once in the 7-8 game.
Bro, not once have you put yourself in a position to be winning you in. So if that's what we doing, bro, roll the dice. Roll the dice on some people. It might be some folks with some questionable character. Bring them in here. Fuck it. If they can hoop. At this point, I don't care. At this point, this might be what, like you said, what you need. Because right now, what they doing, and one thing we knew, guard packs was good to grab a nigga from Duke, and he gonna be at least serviceable. Like we knew that was one of their top 3 things they had on their whiteboard. He went to Duke. All right, go grab him. Yeah,
right.
Hey, grab a nigga from Duke is crazy.
We don't even do that no more. Like we don't even do that anymore.
Nobody heard of.
Yeah, because those culture guys.
What does Dalen Terry do?
Bro, he waves his towel and hand out waters. Like
he is a professional cheerleader. And here's the thing that dropped Daniel Gafford. We couldn't do nothing with Gafford. He go to Dallas, and this nigga's the missing piece to get them to the finals last year.
Nah, dead ass though. He dunking shit like Stromile Swift and shit over there now. Like he going crazy.
Niggas are really said in a sentence. Man, wait till Daniel Gafford get back. That was never uttered when he was with the Bulls. Not one time. That's the irritating part of it. Like, I take my chances with Zion. I take my chance. Like, and here's the thing too. Like, even let's just say that you get it. Like you said, there's like probably 3 or 4 really good players in this draft right now that can help the Bulls instantly. But just imagine the injection of enthusiasm you give your fan base if we get lucky and get Cooper. Oh, that's not. Yeah, exactly, Zion. Laurie turned into an all-star.
Shout out to my son, Laurie Bird. That's my son still to this day. Shout out to Laurie.
And Maury was on this podcast.
Yeah.
Week after week, begging Laurie to be more aggressive.
Yep.
He went to Utah. He became everything we wanted him to be.
I mean, it makes sense though too. Like, I ain't gonna get all into that, but like, I mean, he got around. It's Utah. You know what I'm saying?
He got around his people.
Yeah, he got out there and was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, and just But yes, like you said, I agree with all of this. Like, it's gonna take some fucking luck, bro. If you don't come out of this shit with a top 3 pick, you know what I'm saying, fucking with this lottery. I mean, hey, it is what it is, dog.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like, but just that injection. Imagine I remember what it was like when the Blackhawks got Connor Bedard. Now, granted, the Blackhawks are dog shit. The Blackhawks are they're that Lamborghini in the hood meme. That's who the Blackhawks are. But even now, and I told Courtney that I was going to get back on my hockey shit. So I'm going to get back on my hockey shit. I stopped watching when the Blackhawks stopped winning championships. But I'll be getting back on my hockey shit and watch Stanley Cup playoffs this week. But I watched the last couple Blackhawk games. And I was like, okay, there's still a couple promising players around Bedard. That maybe in a year or two, you have your new young core like you had with Taves, Kane. Yeah, you had your Taves and Kane, but you had your Duncan Keiths. You had your Patrick Sharps. You had the guys around them. You're getting the guys around Connor Bedard. So even though the Blackhawks stink, what are people coming to the United Center to see? Young LeBron James on skates. That's who they're coming to see. The Bulls don't have that. There's nobody who wears a Bulls uniform that you are waking up in the morning, oh, let me see if I should go on StubHub and get a ticket for the game night and watch them play. If you're going to be trash, at least give me something to watch. You know what I'm saying? That's something that the Blackhawks do. For as much as we come on this show and kill the Chicago Bears, there's one thing you can't say the Bears ain't doing. They're not trying. The Bears have done everything. Now we'll see what happens on the draft on Thursday. But for the most part, they've done everything you wanted them to do since firing Matt Eberflus. You can never say that George McCaskey doesn't want the Bears to win and he doesn't try. He just didn't know how. Now he lets the football guys do the football thing. Do you think that Jerry Reinsdorf would have paid a Bulls coach the amount of money that George McCaskey's paying Ben Johnson? Absolutely not. Ben Johnson getting paid so much money, we don't even know the exact number yet. Like, and he ain't coached the game yet. That's the difference between the franchise. And if you look at every other franchise in the city, we can sit up here and talk about Jed Hoyer. Jed Hoyer is not a bad general manager. Jed Hoyer does as much as the Ricketts chief ass allows him to do. And for what I've been watching, looks like he's been doing good enough to at least start this season so far. Jerry Reinsdorf, his organization, is at the bottom, bro. And that's just, I don't personally have anything else to say about these niggas. Can we move on to the Chicago Sky if y'all are good? So let's go on to a team that, even though they did not do well last year, they were entertaining. Getting Angel Reese, getting Cardozo, even though she missed a lot of the year last year with injury. Now they got back. They had 2 top 12 draft picks this year, and they drafted, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. Is it Asia Sivka? That's how you pronounce it?
That's what we're going to go with today.
Yeah, that's what we're going to go with today. And who else we going to go with today? And then they also drafted Haley Van Lith. Now, you two brothers are more well-versed in WNBA than I am. So I'm going to give the floor to Mariano. What do you think about these 2 draft picks and what should be the expectation for the Sky? Because it seems like the WNBA is putting them on the front line because the season opener is going to be Kayla Clark, Angel Reese with the new look teams.
Yeah, so shout out to Haley Van Lith, right? Like, for a number of reasons. But we'll stick to basketball for now. I think that putting her on that team with the talent that they already have, I think it's going to be an exciting product, which is what we just got done talking about with like the Bulls, right? So regardless, like where you put your expectations, like win-loss wise, because like you never know, like with injuries, like you said, shit like that. But Cardozo, Angel Reese, Haley Van Lith, those are 3 players to me personally. That's like that will make me tune into those games 1,000,000%, like all the way. I personally fuck with the Aces heavy. Shout out to Asia. I love the Aces, but that Chicago team, yeah, yo, that Chicago team, I think is going to be exciting. Like as soon as I saw that they picked Haley, I said, okay, cool. Like this is going to be one of those. All right, I'm with it. So
you know, it's funny because when she got drafted, you know me, and it's not a WNBA thing, it is a basketball thing. Just put that out there. I was like, oh, I know her. Like even I knew who this was when they drafted. So yeah. No, I'm looking at I'm going down here and I'm looking at the roster. Yeah, this is. I think it's gonna be some exciting basketball, dog. Like on some G shit. If they can stay healthy, I think it's gonna be exciting basketball. At the minimum, it's gonna be exciting to watch. Like I thought it was like, yeah, he said it's a great pick for the Sky. Yeah, 100%. Before the draft, I'm not even sure where they had her slated to go, but like her falling to the Sky is crazy. What do you think about now, like in the WNBA as a whole? I feel like last year got a lot of, Angel and Haley were teammates. Yeah, she was at LSU before she went to TCU. But I feel like last year was the first year in like this new WNBA renaissance when like all eyes were on them. Ratings was through the roof. Attendance was through the roof. They got a good, TV deal, which is like the highest they've gotten in the history of the company. And now you got another star in Paige Buchers coming in. She's going to be playing for Dallas.
Oh, man.
And then you got Juju, rest up Juju. When Juju gets back off her injury and she comes to the league, Now you got, not to say that there hasn't been stars before, obviously, but this
is different.
It feels like this is a different kind of star. This kind of feels like early 80s NBA when you had young Magic, you had young Larry Bird, you had the bad boy Pistons coming up. You even had teams that didn't win a championship, like the Atlanta Hawks teams, you know, those Milwaukee Bucks teams. It really feels like the WNBA is about to enter that era where you're going to be having all these different stars across all these different teams, and this is going to make for a different product. What you think about that, Mark? Oh, my bad. Now I go to Dante.
I'm saying I agree. And shout out to Lexi Brown. She made a good point. One of the reasons why the WNBA is more, just captivating right now is the storylines are translating from college. You get into battles in college, and then they draft their graduating and then getting drafted top 10, top 5, and then they got to play each other 6 times a year in the W. So I mean, as they start to expand it and have more roster slots, because that's another thing, you'll see a lot of first round picks get cut. It's not because they're not good enough, it's just not enough teams yet. Yeah. And so they're definitely doing the right thing. I think it's one of those things where we got to stop comparing it to the NBA, because even though the NBA is the overseer, the only thing you can really compare is the timeline. Like, it's going to take more for the W to get where they're going outside of time itself. But people are doing the right thing. And also just simply same with putting them on TV in the primetime slots. It's about people investing. Like, we just talked about the Ishbia brothers, and he just built a $100 million practice facility for the Phoenix Mercury. He brought the All-Star game to Phoenix. Like,
putting money into practice facility that they're working on right now.
They about to break ground on their new shit. So I mean, it's really, they all doing it the right thing. The Sky, I love the Haley Van Lith pick. They made a trade with Atlanta this offseason, with the Mystics this offseason, to get another wing in there. They had to replace Kennedy Carter and her scoring. Like, that's somebody else who, the league, because they're so small, they can still be kind of, they have their very traditional ways in some points, and they try to call her a team killer. And this is a woman who can get you buckets anytime, any place, and she can't find a home right now. So bringing in Haley, bringing some buckets in. The shorty from overseas, I wasn't too familiar with her game, but she's another wing that can shoot, and that's something that this team desperately needed, because if you saw, they could play defense, they just couldn't score with a lot of people. Like, that was one of their big downfalls last season, is they were going through those scoring droughts where they couldn't get buckets. And even when Angel is on fire, rebounding and putting shit back, when you start trading 2s for 3s, it's tough to win like that. So getting more buckets in there. And I think, the league as a whole is just finally, really being pushed the way it should be pushed, because there's people out there that want to see it. You just got to put it in front of them. I think one of my favorite Steve Jobs quotes is, he said, people don't know what they like until you tell them what they like. Like, as much as we talk about people and their opinions, bro, if you push shit in front of somebody enough, they'll eventually fall in line with
it. Like in music, bro. You spend enough money on a song, you'll make people think that, like, oh, this is a hit record, I'm supposed to like this because I hear it everywhere, it's everywhere, whatever. And I think the next step that they should take, in which I don't like being too critical of them, because it's still very young, like it's still very early in their,
not even 30 years old.
Right, exactly. So it's still young. I think the one thing moving forward that I hope to see is, like, them scheduling games a lot better, because a lot of times they'll have a day where, like, nothing else is going on and there's no W on, but then they'll have a day where, like, something is actually happening, but then they'll put a game on at a slot that doesn't make sense for people to, like, stop what they're doing, like, not right now at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, true W fans are gonna tune in, but for the people to tune in, you got to put them on some more of those days where it ain't shit going on. You make people watch those games.
Yeah, and to speak to that real quick, a part of the reason for that was because back in the day they would depend on a lot of ticket sales from summer camps and shit to fill the stadium. So that's why the games are at 1:00. You got matinees and shit on a Wednesday, like just different stuff like that. But like, I agree, like as the TV contracts get better, hopefully they can lock them into some better slots.
Yeah, some much better slots. Yeah,
you see the results.
They did lock the playoff slots better too, because I really wanted to watch some of the WNBA playoff games last year. They had them on during the NFL. Like, that was the hardest. I think there was one Angel versus Caitlin game, and the Bears was playing. I remember they had the game up in, like, the press box. I'm like, they need to be more of a planning with that. You know what I'm saying? I went to a 10 a.m. Sky game. It was cracking though. Aren't those for, like, the camps? I think they got, like, camp days for, like,
they got camp days.
Yeah. Which I think is a cool concept. And also, to go with you saying, people don't know what they want. That's the number one thing. People are very fickle. Very, very fickle. I just got done watching one of the Apple TV had a documentary that came out 2 years ago. I don't know if it's 2 years, it might have came out last year, about when Lionel Messi finally won a World Cup. And when they kept him, every time he was losing the World Cup, niggas was like, oh, he's more Barcelona than he is from Argentina. Like, niggas was killing him. His own people killing him. But then when he said he was going to retire, they in the streets begging this nigga to come back. Because people are fickle. They don't hate, they hate you 1 minute, then they don't hate you 1 minute. They want this 1 second, want this the other second. I took a marketing class in college, and we were breaking down how the Dasani bottle looked. And the teacher in my class said, yo, this bottle looks like this water is great. Dasani water is piss. But the bottle makes you think that it's a good bottle of water, because marketing is meant to make people look stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's what it's with WNBA. Let people know what they want, man. B-Dot says this nigga in his free big do-rag.
Stay off the podcast, man. Stay off the podcast.
Shout out to B-Dot, man. That's my dog right there, man.
But we're gonna go on. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna get ready to get going to our playoff predictions. Pavy is gonna join us on the other side, man. So we're gonna take a 1 minute break here on I'm not gonna hold you.
So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah, we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
I had to put the shades on, nigga. It's playoff time, brother. It's playoff time. I had to put the shades on y'all niggas, man. It is playoff time in the NBA. For people who are niggas who only watch the last 30 games of the season, it's a big time at the end of the year for me, man. But right now, we're going to bring in the homie Pavy in the building. Y'all know to follow him at Pavy World on all social media platforms. Pav, how you feeling?
I'm chilling, bro. I can't complain.
That's Pav always says, I can't complain, which is a good thing. You know, sometimes you got to look at life and realize, yo, my life could be a lot worse than what it is right now. A lot worse than what it is right now. You got to be thankful for that, man. I'm going to take these off because these are real hot right now, these lights in my face. But anyway, it's playoff time in the NBA. Let's just get right into it. Ain't no reason, making a big hype about it, man. But we got 2 playing games tonight. We got the Atlanta Hawks hosting the Miami Heat. Winner of that will go on to Cleveland to play Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. And then tonight we got the Memphis Grizzlies hosting Anthony Davis and the Dallas Mavericks. John Morant still suffering with that knee injury, dealing with a lot of swelling, but Tim McMahon at ESPN said earlier that he will be playing today. So don't know what condition he will be in, but he will be playing. We're going to go through all the series. And honestly, it don't really matter who wins these playing games. So we're just going to give our prediction for whoever OKC and who, the Pacers, not Pacers, but the Cavaliers play, man. So let's start with the first series of the weekend, and that is the Indiana Pacers hosting the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been balling out, playing like an MVP the last couple of weeks. They've, Kyle Kuzma's been pretty good since getting with the trade deadline. Now, Dame Lillard was originally scheduled to be out this whole series with blood clots, but now we're hearing he's been cleared, medically cleared. Blood clots are gone, thank God, and he is looking to return some point in the series. Now, he is out for game 1, but he's revving up his physical activity, and he's trying to be in this series sometime by the end of it, man. Pat, first, what's your thoughts on this series, and who do you got and why?
I think it should be a great series. Number one, I just love the way Giannis has been playing since Dame has been out. Like, the man has been literally incredible. I think he's been averaging like a triple-double since Giannis has been out. And if I had to pick a winner, I would pick the Bucks. I think that Giannis is the best player on the court, and also this is the first healthy postseason that we've seen Giannis in like 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. Or because last year he was hurt. Yeah, last year he didn't even play, and then the Heat series he fell out the sky and bruised his tailbone. So we finally get a healthy Giannis, and I think the Dame news is exciting, but also I was kind of Not to say Dame won't help the Bucks, because obviously you get a top 75 player to come back, it's gonna help your basketball team. But I did enjoy the way that Dame being out was forcing them to play. I mean, the ball was in Giannis' hands pretty much all the time. And also the one thing that they were doing is they were using Brook Lopez actually as a post scorer. I think that Brook Lopez has changed his game so long ago, and I think people forget that when he was in Brooklyn or New Jersey, he was one of the best post scorers in the league. So I like the fact that they've been using him in the paint a lot more, and I hope that they don't stop doing that just because Dame comes back. Bobby Portis came back; he's been playing well. Like you said, Kuzma has been playing good. Kevin Porter Jr. has been playing good. I just think that they have a better team than the Pacers, but I don't think this series will come without contest. I think we're looking at probably like a 6-game series. So yeah, but if I had to pick somebody, I'm gonna pick the Bucks.
Murray, how you got this series going, man? I think Pav gave some good points about both sides. How you feeling with this one?
Yeah, I think Bucks in 6. I don't like or trust the Pacers. I mean, I think that's really what it comes down to. I don't really think that. I mean, Halliburton is cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not all the way sold on him. I think a lot of people might owe Wally Zerbiak an apology. I don't know just yet. But yeah, I'm gonna say
I stopped messing with Halliburton when he called 50 Cent fifth. Fifth, my brother.
Yeah, fifth is insanity, bro. Like that's a whole different, yeah. But yeah, I'll probably say Bucks in 6. I probably would have been. I'm not gonna say less optimistic about it if Dame was gonna be out the whole time. Because I still love Giannis. I think he could probably would have got it done and probably went to 7. But yeah, I'm gonna say Bucks in 6.
Dante, how you got this one looking at you?
As much as I want to pick the Pacers, it's hard to pick against a team with the best player. Like like you said, I just a lack of trust with Indiana. I do think that with the rotation of people they have defending Giannis, it'll make it more difficult for him to get his points. But at the same time, Giannis is a top 3 player in the world, so he's gonna get his, and he usually shines when the lights are the brightest. I think replacing Cal Middleton with Kuzma is a bit of a downgrade, but Cal has been playing well, so I think this is a situation where having the superstar is what's going to be the deciding factor. So I'm gonna go Bucks in 7. Me personally, I don't want Dame to rush back. I think if he comes back, it could possibly swing the Bucks in 6. But I'm gonna go Bucks in 7.
Yeah, I'm going Bucks in 7 because let's be straight up. I don't trust neither one of these teams. I just laid out my reasons for why I don't like Tyrese Halliburton. I don't like him, but how can I describe this? He's not my kind of nigga. Pause. But I think the Pacers probably should win this series without Damian Lillard. We don't know what game Dame comes back and what he's even going to be able to do 100%. But Giannis has been playing like a madman for the last 6 weeks. Last year, that series went 6 games, and Giannis didn't play at all, and Dame missed a couple games in that series as well, and that still went 7. So I think just off Giannis being healthy, I think should be a series. Should give them the edge when it comes to a 7-game series because usually go with the team with who has best player. Wouldn't surprise me each way. I think this is a pick'em series, but I also don't think that Indiana has the ability to shut the door. Not the kill factor. What fucking word am I looking for? I don't know. It's the phrase I'm looking for is escaping my mind right now. But they don't have the killer instinct. That's what I was trying to say. They don't have the killer instinct to actually close the door. And they could have did it multiple times last year, but it just went unnecessarily long without even the superstars playing. So I think it's gonna be a good series. I really don't think this outside of maybe the 1-8 matchup in both leagues. None of these series are going to be boring to me, but I think this is going to be a long one. I'm going to go Bucks in 7 because of Giannis and the potential of what Dame can do if he's healthy. This next series, this is the most interesting series in the Eastern Conference by far. Before I give my pick, I just got a question from Mariano. What is that crowd going to be like Game 3, downtown Detroit? We talk about it on Monday's show. They ain't had a Pistons playoff crowd, a team that they can actually get behind. I believe, I know they made the playoffs since, but like a team that you can actually feel like, oh, there's a real lot of talent on this thing, maybe about 20 years. What do you think that crowd's going to be like on whenever it is, probably like in 10 days?
So the first thing you got to know is that you give a Detroit nigga anything to celebrate, they're gonna overdo it. You know what I'm saying? Even if it ain't shit to celebrate, they're gonna do it. Like that's number one. You get them a Pistons team that's worthy of support, and like they're playing downtown. This ain't the Palace of Auburn Hills. This is downtown in the city. They already do the cam where they show everybody iced out and shit. You're gonna start seeing niggas pull out pieces they ain't pulled out in since last year. Like they bringing out everything. Niggas grandma's gonna be iced out to get everybody. I promise you that. That crowd is gonna be insane. And I promise you this: if the Knicks come in there and Cat is on that shit where he got the one voice on and he, you know what I mean, like going back and forth with the refs and shit, that game is gonna get out of hand very quickly because they're gonna smell blood in the water and they're gonna say, all right, we got him. Like just off, you know, shit like that. So if the Knicks ain't ready to compete on like the physical level when they get to Detroit, shit is gonna get ugly. So that crowd gonna be insane, bro. I promise you that. Like chili cheese is gonna be on the court. It's gonna be that shit is gonna be it's gonna be a goodie.
And Detroit crowds, man, like them niggas get like I remember the Lions Bears game on Thanksgiving. Like it felt like a playoff game, bro. It just be like them fans be ready. And I know the downtown Detroit area, bro. Like niggas is gonna be gassed up, ready to get.
They've been waiting, bro. They've been waiting on this shit. Like as much as they love the Lions and shit like that in the city, man. You know, people like they fuck with the Tigers and like all the Detroit teams, dog. When the Pistons are good, them niggas they love that shit. They're gonna go crazy.
And the Tigers crowd was crazy in the MLB playoffs last year. To me, this is a series that really it all depends on what version of the New York Knicks we're going to get. Now, they do have Jalen Brunson back. Jalen Brunson has proved every year he's in the playoffs, even that year with Dallas, that he is a playoff performer. And that's something that I feel like is going to be, we know it's going to be their go-to guy. But it's kind of like Maury said, they can't come in here with this cool shit because there's a lot on the line for the New York Knicks. I don't want to say that Tibbs' job is on the line, but if they lose in a first-round series to the Detroit Pistons, I believe he's gone. And that, to me, is just the pressure that is here, especially when you got a coach like Michael Malone who's going to be available if you want to be able to go to the next level of trying to win an NBA championship. Now, I'm not going to pick the Pistons, even though I really want to, but I also think experience plays a part here, and we also know how hard it's going to be to win in Madison Square Garden. One thing you can say, them Knicks crowds, since the Knicks have gotten back in the playoffs, have been crazy. They had an amazing record in the playoffs last year. The biggest question mark to me is, are they going to be healthy the entire run? We see with every Tibbs playoff run, whether it's the Bulls, whether it's the Timberwolves, whether it's the Knicks, somebody always gets hurt. And can Cat do what he was traded to do when he got here? Can Mikal Bridges, they gave him 5 first-round picks from this nigga. Can he step up and get it done? I think this is going to be a long, entertaining series, but I can't pick the Pistons yet, but I do believe they can scare them. I'm taking Knicks in 6. Pat, how you got the series going?
I'm going Knicks in 6 or a highly contested 5. Number one, I think that Jalen Brunson getting hurt was actually kind of a good thing for them because it forced OG to step up, right? OG's been very in the past a guy who's been vocal and said, "Yo, like I want more offensive responsibility," which I thought was nuts because I've seen OG in ISO motion and it don't look great. But while Brunson was out, he stepped up. He was making plays. I think he was averaging like 25 points. He had some 30-point games in there. And yeah, I'm with you, Cat can't do this. Now, granted, you do got to run things for Cat and make sure you keep him involved. But he can't do the thing that Cat does sometimes where he just zone out in the corner and just leave whoever else to fend for themselves. It's like, bro, you averaging 22 and 12, bro. We need that 22 and 12. You are a very important part of this team. But as I said on Monday, none of that really even matters. The Knicks should win the series. If they don't win the series, it will be a colossal upset. You can't put this team together and give up everything that they gave up for this team. You gave OG $200 million. Like you say, you traded 4 first-round picks for Bridges. You brought in Cat. Brunson over there taking $150 million discounts to keep the team together. Yeah. You can't lose in the first round. But that's not the point. My point is this series will be the start of Cade Cunningham's MVP candidacy for next season. I think Cade is that good. I think that no matter win, lose, or draw, he will leave this series as a household name. Like I think people know Cade, like in like the NBA circles, they know Cade, but like not really. I think after this series, Cade Cunningham will leave will leave this season a household name, and it will start his MVP candidacy for next season. And that to me is what I'm most excited about.
This definitely can be a putting him on the map type series. What I mean by putting him on the map is that NBA fans know who Cade Cunningham. For the casual watcher who only watched the playoffs, this can be Derrick Rose against Boston. First series.
He is our only hope to get the MVP
right,
award
I was just
back
about to say that.
from
and
pointers.
He's got the country on his back. We have got to get the MVP award back to the red, white, and blue waters. We rooting for Cade, man. Mari, I know you got to bounce soon, so before you bounce, just give us your picks, your prediction for the Knicks, and then also give me who you got winning the whole thing since you got to leave.
Yeah, so realistically, the Knicks should win this in 5 games. Because I think about, shout out to Justin Tinsley. He got this, the 2-1-1 theory, right? You need 2 games from your best player, 1 game from your second best player, and then you need a game, from like a role player kind of guy or whatever, right? Jalen Brunson is going to get you 2 games. Yeah, the others game. Yeah, so Jalen Brunson is going to get you 2 games. I don't think I'm not on the fence about that. He's going to get you 2. I think Cat is capable of getting you, like that 1 game where it's like this is just a Cat game where he just went crazy. So that other game, Mikal Bridges is going to have to show people why they made that trade, because too many times he'll disappear and just, he'll have a good game. He'll shoot the ball well, but then he'll have another game where it's like, all right, fuck is you doing here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like why you out here? What's going on? So realistically, it should be Knicks in 5. If it goes longer than that, then shout out to the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? I love Cade Cunningham. I love that he's bringing back excitement to the city because whenever there's a spotlight on Detroit basketball, the city looks good overall. So I do respect that. I appreciate that. As far as you want my pick on who's gonna win it all?
Yeah, who's gonna win the whole thing? Who's gonna be holding the Larry O.B. in 2 months?
It's tough for me right now to root against Boston, bro. It's really tough. I know the West. I know it's a lot of talk about the West and a lot of good teams in the West. It's just really tough, damn near impossible for me to look at a team in the playoffs and say you're going to beat Boston 4 times. I just don't see it. Like if it happens, it happens. But right now, my money would be on the Boston Celtics to run it back.
Definitely, man. Mario, let them know where they can follow you at, man, and we're gonna get you out of here.
Yeah, man. At Mariano on Twitter, 2 N's, 2 O's. Like I'm still telling you, when she asked me for money, that ain't gonna change. At Mariano Bivens on Instagram. Come holler at me, man. I'm showing the waves off a couple times a week and shit like that. So yeah, we out here.
Yes, sir, Mario. Always good to holler at you, bro. We'll have you always, on here sometime next month.
Absolutely.
All right, bro.
All right, G.
Dante, man, how you got this series going, bro?
I think it's one of those things where it's good and bad. Good in the fact that you're going to get a young team out there on the national stage. That's what I always preach, and what I think is one of the biggest flaws that the NBA is currently, dealing with, the lack of exposure for their young stars. So you get Cade and you get the Thompson twin out there on that stage. Durant, Isaiah Stewart is a nut, but I mean, his brand of ball fits Detroit basketball. So just getting them out there and getting people, getting the eyes on that young team. So that's going to be a good thing, but no, I think the Knicks take care of business, bro. I got Knicks in 5, unless some foolishness happens, unless, somebody tweaks something, somebody gets hurt, and they start losing players. There's no reason they should lose to Detroit. Detroit's a great story, and good for the league, good for the future of the league, but no, I got the Knicks in 5.
All right, man. We know their fans are going to be ready to go. There's one thing. Anybody know a Knicks fan? Them niggas. But it's funny then. That's why I know the niggas is nervous. They're kind of quiet. Like, hey, Pat, I know we both know Knicks fans. They're kind of quiet. This was scaring me a little bit. I feel like this legit nerves when it comes into this series. It's different when you're a team that's like, oh, we haven't been here in a while. But when the expectations hit, it's a different thing. Now, Mari brought up the world champion. So let's talk about the world champion Boston Celtics trying to be the first NBA team to repeat in 7 years, which just speaks to the parity we have in the league right now, and to be the first Boston Celtics team to repeat in almost my math's off, about 70, 60 some years since like Bill Russell Celtics. They have not repeated. Jaylen Brown has a little bit of a knee issue coming into this series, but they are going up against the Orlando Magic, who won their playing game by 25 points against the Atlanta Hawks. I think that Orlando is a much better team than what their record is showing. They dealt with injuries through the entire season, and didn't play the best towards the end of the year, and that's what led them into the play-in. You can sell me on them getting the game. You can sell me on them getting the game, not in a 2-1 type thing. I think this would be the Celtics could have swept tonight, but they didn't type thing. I think they can take advantage of maybe Jalen not being 100%. But to me, this is anything. This is just thank you, Dante, in the chat. 56 years for the appropriate years. 56 years since they last repeated. Last time the Celtics won was back-to-back was 1968, 1969. Thank you, Dante, for that stat. Been a long time. Dr. King had just died a couple months prior. So that tells you how damn long that was. But I think that this will just be a warm-up for the Celtics for the eventual meet-up with probably the Knicks. But 5-game series, 2-3 of these games are going to be on NBA TV. I ain't got much to say about this. Pat, how you got this series going?
Gentlemen sweep. Like you said, I think Orlando is better than what they've shown. If you would have polled me in the beginning of the season, I'm pretty sure I told you Orlando was going to win 50 games. Unfortunately for them, they've dealt with injuries all year. I mean, two players had the same injury. Mo Wagner tore his ACL. I don't even know what's wrong with Jalen Suggs, but he out for the year. They got a bunch of injuries on their own squad. Having said all of that, I think Paolo and Franz are good enough to get you a game. You know, Boston gonna have a game where they just don't make shots. It's gonna happen. They're gonna have a game where they shoot, 33% from three probably, and they'll probably end up losing that game because they just literally didn't make shots. But the bigger question for Boston is Jaylen Brown's knee. If Jaylen Brown's knee is not gonna be okay, this changes a lot. As far as this playoffs, and it changed a lot as far as what Boston could possibly do. But as I said, gentlemen sweep, Celtics in 5.
Is Jalen Suggs the new Quincy McCall? I think he's Quincy McCall. This girl just got drafted.
I mean, Haley ain't that nice, nigga.
That's his girlfriend?
Yeah, that's his girl.
Yeah, that's his girlfriend. Yeah, Quincy McCall. By the way, Love and Basketball. Terrible movie. But moving on.
I gotta stop.
It's a terrible. You know, it's 2 black classics that we gotta.
What?
3 black
I mean, it's several
classics.
black classics that are bad, but
They're not
that
bad movies. They're not bad movies. They're just not as hyped as they should be. The 3 black classics that are solid movies, but are gassed up. Love and Basketball's one. What's the movie with Lorenz Tate and Neil Long?
Love Jones.
Love Jones. If that nigga, what's his name? Darius Lovehall, is that his name?
Don't actually.
Any other nigga, that nigga would have been a harasser in that movie. But that's besides the point. And then I love this movie. It's a good movie. But Poetic Justice, stop putting that up like that's all-time cinema. Okay? Just because Janet Jackson and Tupac in it. Enough of that. But anyway, that's not like, there was a better rom-com put out. Romance movie. Boomerang came out around the same time. But anyway, I digress. Go ahead, Dante. What pick you got?
Celtics in 5. I think the Celtics, usually in a series like this, they're gonna take a game off where they just, let the Caucasian start or some shit. They gonna do something. They know. Yeah, they know that they got this wrapped up. I don't think this is a thing where they're worried, they're concerned, or they should be. Now, the same thing I said about the Pistons also rings true for the Orioles. I often say the Orioles. I'm watching baseball.
This nigga watching baseball.
Orlando. You got a young team with a lot of young talent on it. Like one of my homies, he said, "Man, I ain't know Paolo hoop like this," and I'm like, "Yeah, bro. He get busy." Like
that's the casual NBA fan. I said, "Oh, this nigga's in the league multiple times in these playing games."
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, bro, he really hoops. So to get him on the stage is gonna be dope. Like you said, they've been battling injuries all season. You get to see one of my favorite streaky players, Cole Anthony. It's hilarious. He'll give you 5 and then he'll give you 19 the next night. Yeah, it literally hit 6 threes out of nowhere, just wild shit. But no, I think the Celtics are the team to beat. I think we're gonna get into that later. But in this series, I got Celtics in 5.
Celtics in 5. Gonna be a lot of Peyton Pritchard getting 35 minutes in this series. But let's go to this other series, which we ain't got to spend much time on either. It does not matter who wins tonight. Between the Atlanta Hawks and the Miami Heat, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to sweep. It does not matter.
It doesn't fucking matter. Sweep.
We ain't even got to. Yeah, we ain't even got to go. We ain't
free Trae Young.
Sweep. Yeah, right. Free
no,
Trae
keep
Young.
Trae Young. But real quick.
No, Pavy. Hold on, G. Hold on. One thing, the only reason I shoot Bro Bell, it ain't because I live here. It's just because he has not had an all-star teammate since he's been here.
I was gonna say I do want to say this about the Hawks. The Hawks are another team where if they had been healthy all year, they would be better. They would look better than what they look right now. If Jalen Johnson didn't tear his shoulder up, they would look better than what they look right now. And the Hawks finally have the team around Trae Young, where they have the pieces of the team around Trae Young that you need to have. You got, Ricochet, who's after they traded DeAndre Hunter, he actually looked like the number 1 pick in the draft. Jalen Johnson is a guy who would have got some all-star votes if he didn't tear his shoulder up. He was giving you like 19 and 10. Dyson Daniels, quite possibly the defensive player of the year this season. So they actually have the frameworks of a team, which is why I said keep Trae Young. Not because he's not good. I said keep Trae Young because you finally have the frameworks of a team that you should have around Trae Young.
And I will say, if you're going to be mediocre, at least be mediocre in Atlanta.
In Miami, I mean,
I don't know, man. Look, Miami's in a weird space because
I like their front line. I like the front line. I like the fact that like they got Ware and they
free anybody. Free Bam.
No, keep Bam.
No, it's funny because at the beginning of the year, I text Pavy talking about, "Hey man, Jimmy got to go talk to Pat. Get what's the white boy?
Healer.
Get Tyler Hero. He got to get Tyler Hero up out of here. They traded Jimmy ass." So that's an interesting team, bro. Because it's like a team full of role players. They don't have a guy. Yeah. We know how the league is. If you ain't got a guy, you ain't got nothing. So I mean, that's a team that they'll be entertaining because of I get tired of people talking about the Heat culture and all that shit, but because of the coach that Spo is, because of who Spo is, Dwayne Wade and Udonis Haslem and the lies he be telling. Yeah. But
don't even start on Udonis. I like Udonis.
I think it's one of them. Yeah, I love him. But it's one of them things where that team will always have a ceiling. They'll have a cap until they get a guy in there that wants to lead them. But right now they don't have it.
Heat culture and the Patriot way. You know what the Patriot way was? Tom Brady was the Patriot way. What has the Patriot way been to this nigga hung up the cleats? Nothing. Trying to sell you on Matt Jones and Drake May. That's what Patriot way has been.
I do believe in Heat culture more, though. I believe in Heat culture more. Like at least if you have a Miami Heat team, they're gonna defend and try hard, and you can win a solid amount of games just off of defending and trying hard. It's gonna be a ceiling on that defending and trying hard, but you can win a solid amount of games off of defending and just trying hard.
I'll give you that. I believe in that more than the Patriot way because the Heat culture, like I said, Dwayne Wade, it was Pat Riley since he left New York and built this franchise to what it is. It's Pat Riley. It's it. But love Pat. Getting long in the tooth, my guy.
A little C now, bro.
Yeah, you're getting long in the tooth, my guy.
He paid Tyler Johnson G. He gave Tyler Johnson the contract that Tyler Johnson couldn't even. He said he couldn't believe that they offered him that money. It's been like when you start looking at the financial decisions Pat Riley has made over the past 10 years, brother. Hey,
like when Pat Riley said. LeBron said right before what made him sign with the Heat, they put him in all the room and he took his championship rings and put them on the table. We old niggas. That would work on us. These young niggas don't remember Kobe and Shaq. They definitely don't remember Showtime. Okay? Throwing them rings on the table ain't finna do nothing. So I love Pat. One of the greatest coaches ever, one of the greatest executives ever. It's over, my guy.
You play in Miami, Florida, and you can't attract free agents.
And we would
you play in Miami, Florida, and you can't attract young, rich 20-year-olds to come play in Miami, Florida.
Yes,
something is wrong. But I digress.
Damian said Heat culture and people believing Josh Richardson was good.
It did.
Heat culture is not a thing anymore, man. But let's go to the Western Conference, man. I think all these matchups have a little bit of intrigue in them, man. Let's start with, in my opinion, the most interesting series out of all of this. You got the Denver Nuggets, who just fired Michael Malone, just fired their general manager. The Cronkies then went full scorched earth on the front office. And now you got a team in the Clippers who have quietly been playing like one of the best teams in the NBA the last 2 months. Zubac has been balling. This has been a team that's been great front to back. Kawhi Leonard has a chance to be healthy through an entire playoff series for the first time since the bubble. Yes, it has been that long since Kawhi Leonard has gotten through an entire series. I think on paper, the Los Angeles Clippers should win this series. But as somebody who covered this team for 3 years, as somebody who's even just watched the history of the Los Angeles Clippers, I, in good faith, cannot pick them, even though I feel they are probably going to win. I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets because of 2 reasons. Really, both of these reasons are tied to the best player in basketball, in my opinion, Nikola Jokic. And Jokic, I've said this many times, reminds me of younger LeBron in the sense where I don't really care who's on his team. He's at least going to win a series for you by himself. We don't know what you're going to get in Jamal Murray. He's been a mixed bag all year when he's even been healthy. This team does not have the depth that it's had in past years. It's crazy. This team looks nothing like how the championship team they won 2 years ago. Doesn't look anything like it anymore. I don't know what you're going to get from it was Rick Adamson. I forgot his last name, but it's his first playoff series. He's only been head coach for like 2 weeks. What are you going to get from him? But I do believe just because of Jokic and just because I don't trust the Clippers, I'm going to go with the Nuggets in 7. That's my head. But my heart is telling me the Clippers are going to find a way to win this series. But I have to go with the Nuggets just to protect myself here. But this is going to be a very interesting series. Pav, how you got this one looking and who you got?
Clippers are winning this series. I think they'll win in 6 games. Yeah, the loss of the KCP is going to really hurt. And I think that this is a series where Harden can really eat. Like, if I look around, who's supposed to guard Harden? Jamal Murray not going to be able to do it. Braun, I mean, yeah, but we can say it right now. Like, I think this is a series where Harden can average 25 and 10 on a decent shooting percentage, right? And also, we talk about, Jokic and Zubac. I've seen those Jokic and Zubac matchups. Every time Jokic is not going down, they just busting Zubac ass. Like, I've seen those matchups, especially this year. Like, Zubac might get some all-defensive team votes. Zubac is a top 10 center in the NBA. He's a real thing. I think Jokic will do be Jokic, but I don't think it'll come without contest. And just when I look around at Denver Nuggets roster, I think that, again, like I see, y'all call me a madman when I said it at first. This team has about as much talent as Bron team 09. And I think that this is the best constructed Clippers roster of Kawhi's tenure in LA. I think that, at other points in times, you were way too wing heavy. Like, it didn't make sense to have Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Marcus Morris all on the court at the same time. They play the exact same position. That doesn't make sense. Now you actually have James Harden and Chris Dunn. You have an actual backcourt. You have Kawhi Leonard and you have Norman Powell or Derrick Jones Jr., whoever you want to put in there. You have an actual front court that makes sense, and you have Zubac. And I like the bench pieces they had. I know we laugh at Ben Simmons, and he probably won't be of much use in this series, but I do enjoy
he a backup center.
It's him and Eubanks, because they also do have Eubanks, but when they go small, they like to put Ben Simmons at center. But having said that, like, I think Ben Simmons has a role on this team. Like, I even think in the Warriors game, he made one of the biggest plays of the game when he came down with that offensive rebound and swung it outside. I think it was Norman Powell or Harden for a 3 and tied the game up late in the fourth quarter. So I like the team that they have, and I don't really trust the Nuggets defense. And it's funny that Jokic complained about it because he's not the best defender, but at the same time, nobody really abuses Jokic. I think that Jokic is, I think the way Jokic looks and the fact that he can't move that well is the reason why people talk about his defense so much. But nobody really goes out there and just gives Jokic 40. But again, I don't trust the rest of their defense. Like, yeah, you got Gordon to match up against Kawhi, but every other matchup, man to man, I don't really see how the Nuggets guard what they do. And I think that the Clippers have a much better opportunity of guarding what the Nuggets want to do. So I'm going Clippers in 6.
I just want Kawhi to get out of the series healthy. Like,
I think he'll be fine.
I think he will be too. This is the best ball he's playing in the wall. But I remember
he lost weight. He lost weight.
He's busting Phoenix ass, and all of a sudden
he got hurt.
Oh, he's out for the series.
I mean, but he lost weight. They've been managing him pretty well. They've, ramped him up. I guess they've ramped him up according to schedule. And also, my last point is, I think people overlook it, but I think the Clippers have one of the best coaching staffs in the league. You have Ty Lue, you have Jeff Van Gundy. I don't know about the rest of their assistants, but just those 2 guys and, what they have done with this team defensively, even before Kawhi came back, because they weren't winning games with their offense. They were winning games through their defense. So I think the coaching staff will get you a game, and I think Kawhi and Harden can get you the rest. So, yeah, I'm going Clippers in 6.
Jeff Van Gundy was a very underrated signing.
Extremely.
and their coaching staff, man. Dante, how you got this one looking?
I'm going Clippers in the entertaining 5. I mean, I think the Nuggets are done. I think the Nuggets are done. And I think the Clippers are peaking at the right time. I think they were able to do what the guy Amin El Hassan, he did a great analogy. He was like the Clippers hedged their bets by saying we got a guy in Harden who's gonna play 80 games. He carries us through the season, and then hopefully Kawhi's healthy. Now we going to the playoffs, where he was like the 76ers, they parlayed they shit. And they was like, we got one injury-prone guy, and then Biggie gonna get another injury-prone guy, and pray that we, strike gold with that. And they both struck out. So I think it's a situation where the Clippers are finally at a point where I think Kawhi is gonna be fine and actually make it throughout the whole playoffs, and that's gonna make them a team that's really tough to beat. Norman Powell has played well, should have been an all-star. Brown should have hit the phone a little earlier so he could get that all-star nod. But I think this is a team that's playing well at the right time. And I think the Nuggets, this is the worst time for all the shit they got going on. So I'm going Clippers in 5.
Yeah, and I think I said it when the Sixers got Paul George. I'm like, how you gonna trade for injury-prone nigga and a bigger injury-prone nigga?
I mean, you didn't know Embiid was gonna literally die.
Like we all do that. Everybody do that, bro.
Okay, no, he gets hurt. He died. Like he might not play for 700 days.
Did that really honestly shock you? Didn't shock me whatsoever.
I didn't think he was gonna die.
I didn't think they were gonna be as bad as they were, but him getting hurt was not shocking.
Yeah. I didn't think he's gonna sacrifice his career for a gold medal. It was like
basically what he did. Literally, basically what he did.
Well, nigga, it's something to go on the resume because he ain't getting an NBA championship. At least he got an MVP and a gold medal. At least he'll have that. But another very interesting series, man, the Los Angeles Lakers, the 3rd seed, man, they will be hosting Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. That will be the nightcap on Saturday, tomorrow. So this is an interesting series to me. For the same reasons we named about Cat. You know what's funny about the Cat Julius Randle trade now that I think about it? I think Cat is a better player by Julius Randle, but both of them niggas are tweaks. Like, both of them niggas are like equal tweaks. They just tweak in different ways. I feel like Julius Randle does too much. Cat don't do enough. I think that's the trade-off here with these two. The Timberwolves been playing amazing basketball the last 6 weeks of the season. For them to even get to the 6th seed when they were in like the 8th, not like a week or two ago, it's been phenomenal. Anthony Edwards doing what he does. They've been healthy. I think I can't believe I'm going to shoot Rudy Gobert some bail. I'm going to shoot Rudy Gobert some bail. People make too much of that game winner that
he did a great shot, man.
That Luka made. Yeah, he had a great shot. That was actually really good defense.
Good defense.
Like every time we talk about Rudy Gobert, he defense. Everybody, well, look what Luka did to him last year. It's a really good shot. It wasn't bad defense. And unlike last year, the Lakers don't have the bigs to really disrupt what Rudy Gobert and what Julius Randle do, like the Mavericks had last year. So that's going to be a big part of it right here. Luka's going to do what he's going to do, but is Luka ready to defend? It always comes back to that. Is Luka going to be ready to defend? We know what Luka's going to give you offensively. Anthony Edwards is coming for heads. You got the great father versus the deadbeat. That's the big headline here. Anthony Edwards said in the article he wants to knock LeBron James off. He loves this thing. And for the Lakers, really more focus on LeBron. If you're LeBron, you got to be looking at this as maybe your last golden opportunity. And even though I don't think they're going to win the NBA championship, this is the best opportunity they've had to win an NBA championship since the bubble. He's going to try to take this. My fear for the Lakers is that they're going to have to rely so much on good shooting. They're going to have to rely so much on what can the bigs do. That's going to be the issue. This is going to be a long series. I think this is going to go to 4-7. I'm going to take the Lakers because they have an advantage with home field, and Staples Center has been a tough place to play all year. But if they come out on that cool shit, the Timberwolves can get them. I'm going to go Lakers in 7, though. Pav, how you got this one going?
I'm going to go Lakers in 6, but I'm also with you, though. I think that they're probably going to try to play Rudy off the court, which I don't know how this is going to work because, I mean, like when you look at their small ball line, small ball line, let's say I don't know how much Vando will be able to play because if you put Vando in the game, you can keep Rudy on the court you can probably keep Rudy on the court. I think that people make too much of having to take Rudy out the game for your small ball lineups. Like even your small ball lineups, Rudy can do a decent enough job against most people. But if Vando was on the court, he could definitely stay on the court because Vando can't shoot. So I'm assuming like the lineup of Finley Smith, Rory, Braun, Luka, and Reeves will be a pivotal one. Also, having said that, I think Anthony Edwards might average like 35 points because who the hell finna guard Ant, especially in that backcourt. But I'm gonna go Lakers in 6. But it is things that I'm really interested in this series. Number one, can Jackson Hayes be an actual starting center in a playoff series? I don't know. We will find out. If he can, he gonna make himself some money this offseason. If he can't, you back to getting $5 million contracts. But yeah, I think it'll be a very, very interesting series and also a very important one. And I think Randall will have a decent series, right? Like I think that, like you said, Cat didn't do enough. Randall does too much. But also the thing about Julius Randle is Julius Randle really has never been in a position where he's been in positions where he had to do too much and he had to be a superstar or play like a superstar with the Knicks. And that's not what Randle is. Randle in this situation is a much more ancillary piece, if I said that word correctly. Then so like he can like there will be moments and times where it's like Ant is getting double, throw the ball to Randall, I don't know, run to the basket really hard and try to make something happen. And I don't think he'll leave Ant on the island as much as Cat did sometimes, just because he's more aggressive with the basketball. Now it might look nasty, but he's more aggressive with the basketball and driving it and trying to get to the rim or trying to get fouled or doing them stupid ISO motion moves that he do. So I think he'll bowl well. I think Naz Reid is probably the X factor in this entire series. If he go out there and average like 18 and 9, it's spooky for LA. So but I'm still, having said all that, I'm gonna go Lakers to win, really because I want the Lakers to win, but I'm gonna go Lakers in 6. But if this was a series where the Timberwolves won, I wouldn't be shocked. And I think it would be good for the league, right? Like again, we said we said this on the last pod, but like you need new stars, right? Imagine Ant walking in there averaging 35 and sending them home. Like we need these type of things in the league, and we also need the Lakers to go forward. Like this would be Luka's first moment as a Laker, and he could start like that phase of his career. So we'll see.
It'll be the good pass in the torch moment happen. Orlando had a good point too. This will be JJ Redick coach's first playoff series, so he had a really good regular season. I wonder how that's going to translate. Dante, what's your pick? How you think the series is going to
go? Man, I think this could really go. It could go either way. I really part of me want to say Lakers in 6. Part of me wants to say Minnesota in 6, damn near 5. It just depends on what Lakers defense shows up. The Lakers, like you say, ain't nobody gonna defend Ant, but if you could slow down the others, then I think the Lakers will be able to get take care of business. They're only 18 and 10 since they got Luka, so I know Luka has had some big games, but he's also had some games where he really struggled. So I'm interested to see how playoff Luka translates to Los Angeles, because he's one of those players we usually see turn it up under the bright lights. This could be an opportunity for LeBron to conserve some of his energy and really I don't want to say save him when he has to, but like play the background a little bit more, even though similar to when we talk about Bron playing off ball, how often do we see that? It happens. It happens more now, but it's still at the end of the day, Bron is going to be Bron. So I think the Lakers should take care of business, but if it's a situation like you said where Ant gets hot and then they can't slow down the role players and the others, then I could see Minnesota winning this series. But I'm gonna go with what I want to happen, and I'm gonna say Lakers in 6.
This is what I want to happen is Anthony Edwards to take LeBron James out. That's what I want to happen. But
we know.
That's what I want. Drag the king around this court, nigga. That's what I want to see. But I think that this is a series of the others. Like I think LeBron, Luka, and they cancel each other out. Whose others are gonna step up in this series? Like the bigs for the Timberwolves, they have a great series. I think the number one offensive rebound team in the NBA. It's gonna be a problem. You're gonna really see the front court issues here if Rudy Gobert has a big series, if Julius has a big series, if Naz Reid has a big series. That's what I'm interested to see how this is gonna play out. But gonna be a good one. The next number 1-8 series, Thunder versus Grizzlies, man. I do think the Grizzlies will win tonight. I would feel a lot different about the series if Ja was 100%. Ja messing up his knee, not knee, but his ankle. changes a lot for me. Not a lot, but I did think they had a chance to maybe grab 2 if Ja was healthy. With Ja being as hurt as he is, I think it's gonna be a sweep. I'm way more high on the Thunder than a lot of people are coming to the playoffs, obviously. But I think this is gonna be something where they could get a game if it's the Grizzlies. If it's the Mavs, they're getting swept. They're not getting a game.
All right.
I'm not on the Mavs without Kyrie Irving. I'm not. And I think Anthony Davis is great. I'm just not. But I'm gonna go Thunder and 5. I'll give Memphis again. Thunder and 5 if it's Memphis. Thunder in the sweep if it's the Mavericks. Pat, what you got?
I'm going the Mavericks to win the play-in game tonight. Granted, I'm not high on the Mavericks, but I would be really high on the Mavericks if Kyrie Irving was on this basketball team.
Well, if Kyrie Irving was on the team, they wouldn't have been the play.
If Kyrie Irving was on this court, I'm trying to tell you, this might be a conference final scene. I think they have arguably the best front line in basketball. I think Minnesota is obviously up there as well. But I think they had the best front line in basketball. And I saw Chet get his ass whooped last year by Lively and by Gafford on the boards. I saw him get his ass whooped. Now, then again, I'm talking about defensively and on the boards. You bring in Hartenstein, but we brought in Anthony Davis. I think it's Mavs Thunder, and I think the Mavericks can get 2 games. If Anthony Davis plays like Anthony Davis, I think the Mavericks can get 2 games because I still think, granted, obviously they have the backcourt advantage. Clearly they had the backcourt advantage. But the front line, the front court advantage, it goes to me, it swings heavily towards Dallas. So at that point in time, you're relying on shooting, and obviously, the Thunder have really good wing defenders. For sure, they have really good wing defenders. Well, they have really good guard defenders. They don't really have anybody for wings. Luckily for them, Dallas doesn't really have anybody who's just going to light you up for 20 every night off the wing. But, again, like I said, I think they have the best front line, so I think that Dallas can get 2 games, and Nico Harrison can look like he has some semblance of sense for what he did. And, yeah, I think Mavericks win tonight.
Take a lot for that.
I think the Mavericks win tonight, and they win 2 games. So that's what I'm thinking.
Dante, who you got actually playing the Thunder and how you got that series shaking out?
I got the Mavericks as well. I think the Mavericks get it done tonight. But I got Thunder in 5. I think OKC is one of those teams, one of those young teams that's ready to take that next step. I know, they were disappointed with how things ended last season. A little healthier this year, and just a very well-rounded team. I'm interested to see what Caruso could do in the playoffs. But I think as a whole, talking about a team that, man, they've been great all season. Like, for them to be on this sustained run of success and now going into the playoffs, I'm excited to see what they can do because, I think Shea should get MVP. And this is a team that, should contend for a title. I don't think they're going to win it. But as far as this series, I got them playing Dallas and I got them winning. I got OKC winning in 5.
Yeah, OKC, man, I feel like I don't say now or never, but this team is going to get very expensive very soon. So they got it. To me, they got it at least. I think they got to make the NBA Finals. I want to see conference finals. They got to make the NBA Finals, in my opinion, before Sam Presti got to start doing something drastic roster-wise, man. Final series, very excited for this one. The Golden State Warriors taking on the Houston Rockets. The Rockets will have home court advantage. We were just talking about a passing the torch moment. Can Anthony Edwards take that torch away from LeBron James? Can Jalen Green take away that torch from a team that has been running the NBA for almost the last decade? And that is the Golden State Warriors, man. The Golden State
Warriors. You just
told
a goddamn lie. You said Jalen Green. Jalen Green ain't about to take shit.
I'm trying to hype the series.
That's gonna have to be that is gonna have to be a collective team effort. Jalen Green ain't gonna take shit.
I'm trying to hype the series up.
Jalen Green gonna shoot 38%. Jalen Green gonna shoot 38% from the field and fucking 31% from 3, and get on the trade block for Kevin Durant after this series. That's what's gonna happen to Jalen Green.
I'm trying to hype the series up, man. Get this nigga a prop up. He doing Wingstop commercials. You know what the funniest thing about athletes doing fast food commercials? You know that most of them don't eat like that shit. Right. That's the funniest thing. I saw what's called Richard Sherman doing a Wingstop commercial, and then I met Richard Sherman on the final bed. I'm like, this nigga don't eat Wingstop. Like,
right? They probably spit this shit out after every take, bro.
Right? Yeah.
They take a bite.
Right. I'm like Jalen Green and his fingernails do not eat no Wingstop. But anyway, this is an interesting series for me because Pav, you were talking about the Rockets couple on the last show. I think the Rockets have played really, really well. I mean, they've had a season. I don't think anybody predicted them to be number 2 seed. Some people had them in the playoffs, but number 2, I think it just shows how great of a job Ime Udoka has done. The Warriors dragged themselves to the finish line, but they got there. He said, "Not a hoopers from the hood, dude." Yeah, that's right, Cal. But how many hoopers are from the hood anymore? Trench babies ain't running sports as much as they used to be. But unfortunately, this one I'm going to go with the Golden State Warriors. I'm going to go in 6 games. I think that the experience factor is going to be there. I think they've had the number 1 defense since Jimmy Butler's been there. And we all know the Warriors like to trick stuff off. But Jimmy Butler, people talk about playoff stuff. And I hate to talk about this, but it's true. Playoff Jimmy is legitimately a real thing. Like, it's nothing that we got to hype up or anything like that. It's a real legitimate thing. He goes to an entirely another level when he's in the playoffs. And I think it's going to be the same thing. We have never seen a player in the Golden State Warriors era go to the free throw line like Jimmy Butler. Like, he can legitimately slow the game down. That's going to be something that's going to be effective. And you got Draymond Green versus a nigga who thinks he's Draymond Green and Dylan Brooks. And not to say Dylan Brooks is a bad player. In fact, I don't know if y'all watch Quarter Gold. He actually looks like he's a nice guy. From when I watched Quarter Gold, like, it didn't look like he's the asshole that I thought he was. But
no, it's very much a character.
Yeah, you can tell. He said Jalen Green is gonna get cooked in front of his 41-year-old baby mama. That's hilarious. But I just think that that's gonna play into it, and I just don't ever pick young teams right away. I got the Warriors winning this series in 6. Now, Pav, go ahead. You can trash Jalen Green and give us your pick.
No, I'm gonna go Warriors in 5, but I'm gonna go Warriors in 5 just because I don't think the Rockets are gonna be intelligent enough to. I think the Rockets have everything they need to possibly win this series. Like, when you look on paper, I think their defense is a real thing. I think Amen Thompson is special, and I think he's another guy that if he plays how he should, if he plays how he's capable of playing, he's a guy that when we talk about next year can be more of a household name than I think he's on the NBA circles, but I don't think the casual fan knows him yet. And the other thing about the Rockets is who can they depend on for 20 points a night? I think that Shane Goon is going to have troubles with Draymond Green, like a lot of trouble with Draymond Green. So if Shane Goon isn't, giving you his pretty much 20 and 10, I don't think Jalen Green is going. I'm sorry, I think Jalen Green is going to have a tough series. I just like his play style.
They gonna put Jimmy on Jalen Green.
Yeah, just like his play style screams to me somebody who's going to have a tough first playoffs. He making it together over time, but his play style just screams somebody's going to have a first tough playoff. But if they could find somebody to consistently give them 20 a night, or if they could get into where they got 7 guys in double figures, then I think the Rockets would have a real chance, because you do have vets around, right? Like, you have a Steven Adams, you do have a Fred VanVleet who was a championship point guard. He played a huge part in the Raptors winning that series. He played a huge part in guarding Steph Curry. So you do have guys, vets around. Jeff Green, who's played in, not say he's going to play, but at least just to offer, some words of wisdom. So you do have guys and vets around there. And I do think Ime Udoka is a good enough coach to get you a game or two. But having said all of that, I just don't think the intelligence level is there. And I think that they'll lose in 5 games. But it'll be probably a greatly contested 5. Like, it'll be one of those series where, like, if you watched it, it could have easily been like a 2-2 series. Instead, they lost 4-1 because just down the stretch they didn't make the right decision. So yeah.
Dante, how you got this final series playing out?
I got Warriors in 6. I think this young team is going to give them a little bit of a run for their money. I'm with you. This is the inconsistency of their best player, Jalen Green, is going to be a hindrance. Ime is a great coach. I think. Okay. All right. Who would you say is their best player? Who to you? I mean,
Şengün. Currently Şengün. Next year it'll be Amen.
Yeah, Eddie, I agree with that. I think Amen, his stock is definitely elevating. Like, that's a kid that's going to be a star. But I think they just don't have enough, and they're not going to be enough for this veteran team. I'm with you about playoff Jimmy. We see it every place he goes, and I also think defensively having Jimmy and Draymond, their defensive IQ will make up for whatever step people think they may have potentially lost if they've gotten older. And with Jimmy, one thing about Jimmy, every playoffs we see Jimmy hit that wall at some point where he's tired as fuck. You're not gonna have that on this team because you got Draymond and you got Steph, so he doesn't have to do as much heavy lifting. So I think that's definitely gonna help him going forward. So I got Warriors in 6. I think the vets get it done, but I do think the Rockets are gonna make it. They're gonna make it an interesting series. So I got them in 6.
Now, even though he hasn't been playing these last couple games, you know who I think is going to be the X factor in this series? Jonathan Kuminga. I think Jonathan Kuminga is going to play this series, and I think he's going to be big this series.
I think, but Kuminga, he's like Pascal 2.0 in the sense that when you hear Pascal talk on these podcasts about how hard it is to play with Steph, it's like Kuminga hasn't bought into, hey, it's certain shit you just can't do, sir. Like, we don't want you to do that.
He trying to get his money, man.
He is, but it's like, no, bro, this is his team. You're going to play a role. If you're not going to play that role, Steve Kerr not going to play you.
But also him and Jimmy is kind of like redundant. Like they don't really need to be on the court at the same time.
Well, they don't have to be on the court at the same time. You can be coming off the bench when Jimmy
we don't really need they don't really unfortunately for him, they don't really need him on this squad. I think it's best Kuminga goes to, I don't know, Brooklyn or somewhere in the all season, then goes and average 22 points and gets his stats and things like that. He just don't fit on this team, to me personally.
Final topic, then we're gonna get up out of here, man. NBA finals prediction. Who's gonna be the NBA champion? What's gonna be the NBA finals, and who's gonna be finals MVP? I think when it's all said and done, Boston Celtics is gonna repeat. I think Boston, like I said on Monday, they're the best team in basketball. I think this is a team that's better than last year. I think you're gonna see a more aggressive Jason Tatum. I think this is a team that finally knows how to win, and they're going to do that. I think the biggest road in the East, obviously, I feel like it's going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers, but I don't think the Cleveland Cavaliers are ready. I think Cleveland has had a really good season, a better season than anybody envisioned. And this is not a thing where I'm like, oh, it's just Cleveland. No, I just think that Boston is just pound for pound better. I think the NBA Finals is going to be Boston and Oklahoma City. I think the Thunder will get it done and come out the West. And I'm going to have the Celtics beating them in 6. Jason Tatum will be your Bill Russell Finals MVP. Pav, what's the series? Who you got winning? Who's Finals MVP?
I think it depends on Jaylen Brown's knee, but I'm going to assume Jaylen Brown's knee is going to stay intact and be okay. If it doesn't stay intact, I would probably pick the Knicks, but for the sake of conversation, I'm going to say that it's going to be okay. So I'm going to pick Boston to come out the East, and then looking at matchups, I'm actually going to pick the Warriors to represent the West. I think it's Boston.
Oh wow! Okay.
I think it's Boston, Golden State, and I think Boston wins in 6. I think they get some revenge for 2022. I think they get some revenge for that. Boston repeats. Jason Tatum finally gets his Finals MVP award, and then we wake up the next day and we start having are the Boston Celtics going to 3P conversations. Which I think is like a real thing. If you look at their stars, they're both in their prime. Nobody's really too old, like barring injury. I think that could realistically happen. So I'm going to go Boston and Golden State in the NBA Finals. And like I said, I'm going to go Boston in 6, and I'm going to go Jason Tatum to win the Bill Russell MVP award.
Dante, what you got?
Let's complete the trifecta. I'm going Boston. I got Boston versus the Lakers. I think we get another chapter in the rivalry, and I'm going Boston in 5. I think it's another series, even with Luka, even with Jaylen Brown's knee. I think he has Luka's number, like he always comes to play when he has to defend Luka, and I think that's a series that will end quick. I got Boston in 5, and I think Tatum gets his Finals MVP, ironically, against the Lakers. So no, I think it's a wrap, but I don't think too many teams can really fuck with Boston.
And that makes my hater heart happy. LeBron getting skull cracked by the Celtics in the finals. Yes, I would love it. But yeah, man,
a new chapter in your hate. Absolutely, that'd be a great page for you to add.
But honestly, bro, either way,
go ahead, man.
Honestly, bro, either way, I think the NBA wins. Like whatever finals matchup you get, as long as it's not Cleveland.
That was a very Adam Silver answer.
Nah, for real. Like for real. Like even if it's something random, like I don't know, fucking Cleveland and LA. Great storyline. We're watching.
Great storyline.
We are watching. Yeah. Like I think either way the NBA wins. So I think that's the most important thing, bro. Either way the NBA wins, bro.
And Kyle is right in the chat. Hawks about to get blown out. They're down 8-0 right now.
Already, damn.
Already. But yeah, man, that would be the nice final chapter in my hater book for 20 years. Slammed it with him losing to the Celtics. But we'll see what happens. That is all we've got for y'all on this program. I'm not gonna hold you. Like I said, next week we'll be on Monday at our usual time. No show on Friday, but we're gonna have our annual I'm not gonna hold you NFL draft special on Thursday, man. We're gonna be giving live reactions to the first 10-12 picks of the NFL draft. So look out for that one. Pat, you got an album coming out. I'll
tell y'all. So the album is dropping. What is it? April 29th. So that's a Tuesday, April 29th. So it's in 12 days now. So look out for that. There will be some release party information. I'll have the pre-save link up for you guys on Monday. So please do that. Also, Soft Lips on Spotify, 1 million streams, but Soft Lips crossed 1 million streams. So if you guys
clap up for that, 1 million
on
streams.
Spotify, on Spotify, it's probably been heard like 5 million times, not flexing, but they probably heard like, but on Spotify,
flex,
it's 1 million.
Nigga, you should. Flex.
So if y'all have streamed that, man, thank you. I appreciate it. 1 million, that's a lot of plays. So thank y'all and look out for that
bots,
album.
Nigga.
No bots. So yeah, look out for the album. It's something I'm really proud of. I think you guys will enjoy it. And yeah, man, always great talking basketball with you guys.
Definitely, man. There's a new episode of High and Outside out right now. Dante, let them know what y'all talking about on that episode.
Hey, yeah, man, we got a little political this week. Talked about the Jackie Robinson celebration and how it seems like it's been watered down. Talked about the Dodgers going to the White House, and we talked about Juan Soto's comments. If you're a Cubs fan, you might want to check it out. I've been surprisingly giving y'all a lot of love lately, but I can't lie, I really like what they're doing on the north side. So we talked about that a little bit. And yeah, man, we got some series to watch. And the Cubs Diamondback series was the series I picked as a series to watch. And game one
got
definitely did
a great start.
So yeah. So hey, man, we've been picking some good series. We haven't tapped into the gambling yet, but we're gonna do that too. We're gonna start sending y'all some parlays to fuck with. Yeah, man, tap in with us.
Anytime you get a game with 20 plus runs, that's a good game. That ball was flying out of Wrigley Field today, man. Shout out to everybody who tweeted me and said they wanted more soccer content. Me and Toast gave that to y'all, man. Y'all watch that Soccer for Dummies. We're gonna keep that up. We're gonna keep that up every Monday. And we'll see where it goes from there, man, as my knowledge of the sport grows, man. But he said Orlando said it's okay to be a fan, Dante.
Fuck you. No, I ain't been a fan.
But that is all we got for y'all, man. You know to follow Pav at Pavy World on all social media platforms. Follow Dante at OctoberZone on Twitter. You can follow me at Barber Scott on all social media platforms. Follow the show. I'm not gonna hold you at INGHY show on Instagram. We're gonna start with that Twitter account soon. Follow HB Media at HB Media TV on Twitter and at HB Media on Instagram, and subscribe to the Patreon, man. If you're listening to this on the audio version, click on the link in the description box. If you're watching this on YouTube, take your phone out, scan the QR code. It'll take you to all 4 different tiers. If you subscribe to the $5 or the $10 tier, you get an extra episode of I'm Not Gonna Hold You each and every Wednesday for the midweek. And you will get 25% off your first order on the Barber's Chair Network shop. That is bcnetshop.com. We got a special Caleb Williams shirt dropping on draft day, man. I got a couple. I got one of the official ones here, man. Looks really, really good. So that's gonna go up on the show, not on the show, but on the shop on Thursday, man. So look out for that. Y'all have a great week, and we'll get ready for recapping the first week in the NBA playoffs and getting y'all ready for the NFL draft on Monday. We up out of here, y'all.